Hey friend, welcome back to Bible Tract Echoes. I'm Micah McCurry, your host. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I have some special guests in the studio with me right now. We're going to talk to them in just a moment. They are just busting at the seams, and it's everything they can do just to keep just the smiles on their face and not be extra exuberant in talking to you folks. I have my girls with me, Emmy and Lucy. What was that question, Lucy? What does exuberant mean? We'll get to that in just a little while. Right now, the reason I am talking to these young ladies and going to interview them is because here in the very near future, we are going to have an open house at Bible Tracts Incorporated. It's been a couple of years since we last did one. These girls were a good bit younger. Let's see, Lucy was about you might have been 3 or so since we did. I think she was 3 or so the last time we did one, because it was about 2 years ago. Yeah, something like that. It's been a couple of years.
5.
Right, we're figuring out the math, but these girls are excited to welcome you to our open house. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this open house and what it's for, why we're doing it, but I'm going to introduce these girls. We have Emmy, and she is 7 years old. Miss Emmy, you want to say hello to the folks listening?
Hello, everyone.
And Lucy, she is still full of vim and vigor. How old are you? Shh. How old are you, Miss Lucy? 6 years old. Now, what is an open house?
Open house is where everyone comes to your house, or in this case, BTI, and they all get to come in and see what's up and see what they have and see what everything looks like.
See what everything looks like? I think there's going to be food involved, right? Food. And on that note, Miss Emmy, what is your favorite food?
I don't have a favorite.
You don't?
But one of my favorites is mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese? All right, Miss Lucy, what is your favorite food? Spaghetti. These girls are pretty adventurous, though Emmy was a little more adventurous when she was younger. She'd eat things like octopus and all kinds of stuff.
Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. I'm looking right at her and calling her Emmy. I'm sure you parents out there have never done that before. Miss Lucy, she did octopus, and these girls still will try a little bit of sushi here and there and things like that.
No, I'm more adventurous than Lucy.
Emmy has become more adventurous these days, and so we're trying to guilt Miss Lucy into trying all the fun new things, because her parents are foodies.
I don't like octopus.
You don't like?
I don't like sushi. I only like cucumbers.
She doesn't like sushi. She just likes cucumber sushi, just the plain kind with a little cream cheese and whatnot in it. So this open house, we are going to have food. We're going to have fellowship. It's going to be a great time. Lord willing, we have some special things that will be coming up. The longtime and the secretary for Paul Levine, the founder of our ministry, Bible Tracts Incorporated. Ministry's been around for about 80-something years. Paul Levine passed away in 96, but the last secretary that he had, her name was Sherry Rodman. And toward the end of Paul Levine's life, he desired to write kind of an autobiography. Not because he thought he was someone special, but God had done something special through him, and he wanted to just share God's blessings. And you realize Paul Levine was in evangelism for over 60 years. And he wanted to write this autobiography, but his wife passed away in 94, and he realized his health was declining. He realized he would not have the time. He would not be able to make the time before his eventual passing to do that. And so he enlisted Miss Rodman to help with that project. And so they'd spend much time together. He'd pop into the office and talk about different things and kind of anecdote after anecdote. And she has boxes of notes about Paul Levine's life. And I reached out to her and told her that we had a desire to actually put a book together about Paul Levine. And she said, well, I have these notes, and I've been waiting for someone from BTI to reach out and express interest in the project. She realized she would not be able to necessarily publish it and finance it all herself. And so she desired for someone from BTI to reach out, and we got in contact. And so she is putting the finishing touches on this book. And Lord willing, we'll see, production and all those types of things can take a little longer than we anticipate at times. But right now, we are on track to have this. Really, it'll be kind of an autobiography of Dr. Paul Levine. We will have that available at the open house, and we're going to be kind of premiering it there. And so that's a plan. We'd ask you to pray for that. But for these young ladies here, I was barely, for me, their dad, my lifespan just barely overlapped with Dr. Paul. He passed away in 96, and I wasn't even 10 years old when he passed away. But these young ladies never got to meet Paul Levine. But I'm excited for the fact, that they will get to meet him through some of his own words, some of his own stories, and maybe these girls very much enjoy reading and stories. And Emmy, you've read a lot of books lately. What kind of books are you reading these days?
Geronimo Sultan and chapter books.
Just chapter. She's on the chapter books now. American Girl, yeah.
And
These girls are fans of American Girl. Lucy, who's your favorite American Girl? If you had to pick one.
Kit.
Kit, yeah, Kit Kittredge, right? I think that's her name. Miss Emmy, who is your favorite? You don't have a favorite?
No.
There's Kirsten and Kit and Samantha.
I have the doll of Samantha.
You have the doll of Samantha.
I have the doll of Kirsten.
Kirsten, yeah, and
my favorite American doll is Kit.
Yeah, and we've read a lot of the American Girl doll books, and now Emmy is getting to a place where she's reading these chapter books, and she burns through them sometimes.
There's some little chapter books I read. There's smaller ones, and they give you, like, extra, like, little books for the big books you read about them.
And I'm looking forward to one of these days reading about Paul Levine's life. His younger years was, really his entire life was very intriguing, but his younger years and the home he grew up in, and his mother, Hulda, Hulda. That's his mother's name, Hulda Levine. She was a prayer warrior. We're going to talk about that likely more on the radio tomorrow. I'm going to ask you, if you would, to consider coming to the open house. I'm going to ask you to go to BibleTractsInc.org. That's BibleTractsInc.org, and you can RSVP for this event right there on our website. It'll just ask you for your name and your email address, and then how many different guests you'll be bringing with you. And so if you have just put down 1. If you have you plus 4 more people, just put maybe 5 down there, how many total people will be attending with you. And that's just going to help us plan for the food. I'm very excited about the food that we are planning to have. We're planning to have some smoked chicken, Lord willing, and some dear folks, some friends of ours that have helped us with that the past couple of times. And everyone has raved about the chicken, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all once again. There are some other interesting things coming up at the open house. Not only do we plan to premiere and release that book at the open house, but we're also planning to premiere some gospel films as well. Now, do you guys remember where Mom and Dad were back a couple months ago? Where did we go?
Australia and New Zealand.
That's right. What were we doing over there?
Making gospel films.
Yeah, what else were we doing, Lucy? There was something we did in Australia.
Preaching and
At a what? What were we preaching at? What was I preaching at? Was it a camp? Yep, we preached at a camp and had a wonderful time there. And Brother Cameron and Weston Colvin and my wife, 2 gentlemen from our ministry, and then my wife also, we were able to go over, and it took the whole crew because at the camp, Cameron and Weston got to preach some, but also at the in New Zealand, when we went over there, we Lucy wants to say something. We'll come back to what I was just saying. What's up?
Wait, I think this was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
They saw a Komodo dragon.
That was actually Australia. We're pretty sure it was a Komodo dragon. It was, regardless, a very large lizard. So there's some interesting things. We saw some kangaroos. And what do you call a baby kangaroo?
A joey.
A joey,
One
exactly.
of them had a joey.
Yep, we did.
He looked really closely with our Mimi, because we were staying with Mimi and Papa. We looked really closely, and Mimi's like, "Oh, there's a joey in that one, and it's pouched."
Yep, we had taken a picture. And so anyway, we had a great time there. But it was definitely a whirlwind trip. We was just in and out, just getting done what the Lord had for us. We went to New Zealand, and we recorded 4 different gospel films from 4 different perspectives, to reach Kiwis, to reach New Zealanders. I'm sure they will have some impact outside of New Zealand, but they were specifically for that. And these are powerful. I've already been able to see just a little bit of some rough drafts of one or two of them, and to realize the editing process takes a long time. And so it's going to be, by the way, I have not given the date for this open house. That would be a really good thing if I did that. It's October 4th. Can you tell people?
October 4th.
Lucy, what's the date?
October 4th.
Yes, it'll be most of the day, and if you're looking for the time frames, that'll be on our website. But October 4th of this year, 2025. Can you believe it's 2025 already? 2025, we will have this open house. It would be a good thing if you knew when it was, so you knew when to come. I know how this goes, though. You got to put it on the calendar. For a lot of folks, they live by the calendar. I hope you do, and put it on your calendar. We would love to have you. If you have to drive a little bit to come, I can't tell you how much we'd appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you. We had folks at our last open house 2 years ago. We had folks from almost a dozen different states. We had someone flying from California. We had folks from Ohio, North Carolina, all over the place, down south. And so we're looking forward to having a real good turnout this year. And if you have any questions for us, if you have any, if you need help with some travel plans, things like that, and questions about lodging and whatnot, we'd love to hear from you. You can text me at 309-316-7240. I'll give that number real slow again. There's no cost for the open house. Of course, we're going to provide food, but the phone number, if you want to text me any questions, 309-316-7240. What are you looking forward to about the open house? I think there's a bunch of kids that play in the playroom, right? The kids' room. We have a kids' room. Yeah, Lucy?
What?
Do you enjoy playing in the playroom? What's your favorite thing in the playroom, in the kids' room?
There's a puppet show.
Puppet show thing. Is that what you're going to say, Lucy?
I have two favorite
All right, what are your two favorite things?
There's a little bitty toffee shop toy and the puppet show stand.
Yep.
But I don't think we're not going to probably let people do the puppet show stand because a lot of us have made it fall down and kind of broke some of it.
Oh, so maybe we need to repair that before people come over. Okay, all right, that's a good thing. Well, we'll put that on the to-do list. We want to make sure everything is ship and tidy before people come in for the open house. Well, we have less than a minute left on the radio. Miss Emmy, thank you so much for joining me today. Miss Lucy, thank you so much for joining me today. And you're going to do a little bow. People can't see your bow on the radio, but go ahead, give me your best curtsy there. Very nice, just gorgeous. For those of you that can imagine a 6 and 7-year-old just doing the greatest little curtsy, even though you can't see it. In the past, we've done radio, and it's been it has been video as well on YouTube. And so now they're prancing and dancing all around, having a grand old time. Well, that's our cue, I think, to sign off. Let me invite you October 4th to our open house. It is in Odell, Illinois. It would be a great thing if I gave you the location as well. Odell, Illinois. Go to BibleTractsInc.org for more information. BibleTractsInc.org. Text me at 309-316-7240. Look forward to seeing you October 4th in Odell, Illinois. God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to Bible Tract Echoes, the radio ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated. Want to see our gospel tracts and other resources? Visit us online at BibleTractsInc.org. That's BibleTractsInc.org. Or follow us on social media to learn how you can partner with this ministry. Thanks again for listening. May the Lord richly bless you as you live for Him.